I hit the book. Why don't I feel smarter? Hi, I'm Josh, your American English guide, and today we are talking about another idiom of the week, which is to hit the books. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just hit a book and then have all the knowledge in that book? That would be great, right? Well, that's not what this idiom means, but it does mean basically to study, usually in a very serious and focused way. For example, the test is tomorrow and I haven't studied at all. I'm gonna have to hit the books tonight. I'm sorry I can't come to the party, I just really have to hit the books. You have to hit the books? You're always studying. Come on, live a little. Hit the books means to study. Got it. Makes perfect sense. Except that it doesn't make any sense. Why do we say hit? How does this mean to study? There has to be a reason, right? Most teachers, of course, would tell you, well, that's just how it is. It doesn't have to make sense, just memorize it. But there is actually a good reason why this phrase has the meaning that it does. See, the verb to hit, usually that's used physically, right? You hit something, meaning that you are using force to make contact with something and it moves. Maybe you do damage to it. If we apply this idea abstractly, remember, it doesn't just mean to study, it usually means to really focus on your studying. So you're going to put in a lot of effort, you're going to put in some force into trying to learn, or at least temporarily remember, the material that you will be tested on, or whatever it is. Now, some definitions of this phrase might say, like, to start to study. And I say that because I couldn't find a lot on the etymology of this phrase, but we do have some related phrases that actually help make a lot more sense with why this phrase has this meaning. The first related phrase is to hit the road. You have to start leaving, or you have to leave. And this is in the context of some sort of long journey. If I live in the same city as you, I'm probably not going to say, oh, it's getting late, I have to hit the road. Now, a really great usage of this idiom, and an easy way to remember it, is with the very, very famous English song, Hit the Road, Jack, by Ray Charles. Unfortunately, I can't play it for you here, but there is a link to it in the description. So the application of hit between hit the books and hit the road, it's very abstract, but we can see if there's a long journey, there's kind of this force, right? You want to hit the road or hit the trail, meaning you gotta start moving, right? Get things going. And remember, this includes the idea of a long distance, which will take a certain amount of energy and effort to travel. And we have even another related phrase, very similar, which is to hit the ground running, which means to start something very quickly or in a very strong manner. For example, I can say, I packed all of the things into the car, so tomorrow when we leave, we can hit the ground running. Meaning that everything is already ready and prepared, so we can just quickly start leaving. Now we have another related phrase which also isn't quite the same as the ones that we've seen so far, but the same abstract idea applies, which is to hit the sack or to hit the hay. This means to go to bed. So sure, hit the road, that kind of makes sense, you're traveling, but how does this one make any sense? Well, a sack is a type of bag, and one of the uses of the word sack means not bag, but bed. And what about hay? Right? There's usually straw, like dead wheat straw, that you might see on a farm. And what do you find on a farm? Well, a barn. And the original meaning of hit the hay was to sleep in a barn. By 1903, the hay part of this phrase started to mean bedding of any kind, which means like a material for you to sleep on. So this phrase does mean to go to bed or to go to sleep, which are the same thing. So, okay, that's fine, but why hit? How does that work in this case? Well, simple. We usually use this in the context of being very, very tired. So, after a long day at work, you might just really want to hit the sack. Okay. So think about it. You come home and you just want to fall onto your bed, right? You are dead tired. That's a phrase we have. You're so tired, it's like you're dead. And what happens if you're dead? Well, if you're standing, you're probably going to fall and hit the ground, right? And you will usually immediately start sleeping. So again, we have this idea of starting. So there's some sort of abstract, maybe heaviness or force going on, whether it means you're very tired or you have a long journey that is going to require effort to travel, or you have to focus a lot on what you are studying and put in a lot of effort to learn the material. In all of these cases, we have sort of a very common shared idea that is being applied in slightly different ways. The surface meaning might be different, but under the surface, we're applying the same basic idea. Now, of course, that doesn't mean all uses of hit are going to be exactly the same, but the meaning of hit as a forcible contact helps to explain why we use it in these phrases in these abstract ways. A very special thanks to our Patreon supporters. But I want to hear from you. Does this make sense? Thank you so much for watching another English Hacks lesson, and I will see you guys in the next one. No teachers or books were harmed in the making of this lesson.